Hello, my name is Sydney, and I'm going to discuss the painting Water by Giuseppe Arcimboldo. Before I talk about the painting itself, let's look at some of Giuseppe's background. He was born on April 15th, 1526, and he passed away on July 11th, 1593. His father was a painter for the office of Fabrica, and he painted in the Milan Cathedral named Duomo. Giuseppe started out by making stained glass windows, and he eventually was commissioned to become a court portraitist for Ferdinand I, and later he began to work for Maximilian II and his son Rudolph II in their court. Maximilian was an emperor that was really interested in a lot of botany and zoology, and so he had a lot of different flora and fauna, and this is where Giuseppe was able to have the access to exotic things that he may not have had in his normal life. So he was able to use the tools that were given to him from the emperor and stuff to create the artwork that he had created. Water is one of 4 paintings in Giuseppe's Elements series. He created 4 different paintings, one of water, earth, fire, and air, and each of them is made out of specific things that are like for that element. As you can see, the water one has sea creatures, the air had birds, the earth had animals, and the fire had different, like fire and guns and such like that. I chose the water because I have always been intrigued by sea creatures. I have a squid tattoo and a jellyfish tattoo, and they've just always been very interesting to me. So I thought that it was really cool that he was able to incorporate so many of them into one portrait. When you look at the portrait, you can tell that it's supposed to be a person. I thought when I first saw the painting it was a man, but after I realized that there was a necklace, you can tell that it's a woman. It was done with oil paints on wood, which was a common medium of the time during the Renaissance before they transferred over to canvases. The painting itself depicts a sense of elegance and exclusivity because most people in that time would not have wanted this painting unless they were royalty or higher up in classes. So it was kind of exclusive to just the royals. It didn't really pertain to any of the commoners. When we look at the different qualities of the painting, it is a Northern Renaissance style painting because it's from Northern Italy. Giuseppe was an early Renaissance artist. He started in the 1500s, which was pretty much the beginning of the Renaissance, so he's early style. I see a lot of humanism in his art because he's painting people, even if it's not in the normal way that we see it. He's painting people, and I see, like, he shows us the difference between, like I said before, the difference between the royal and the common people that are there. It gives you a sense of what their life was like and what their values were at the time. Like I mentioned in the last slide, Giuseppe's art showed us how divided the society was. Most of his works were portraits that look like royals, not anything for the commoners to relate to. And I feel like that showed a lot of humanism and in just the way that it portrayed how society was at that time, because even though we still are divided between rich and poor in today's society, it's clearly depicted more in portraits from the Renaissance, I feel like, because they're so elegant, and usually in the forms like these paintings that you see here, you wouldn't have commoners or peasants being painted like this style, where they're from the portrait profile. It would mainly be the royals. It also was a really important piece because Giuseppe was making things that were different than anything else of the time. Like, nobody was taking animals and making them into a form that they weren't supposed to be in, or that wasn't normal to them. So it was really like a new form of art, pretty much, to everybody that was there. It wasn't something that any of the artists had ever seen. It also showcases the influence of classical Greek, because classical Greek art, I feel like, was very detailed with the human forms and stuff, and they knew how the body was. And I feel like Giuseppe did a good way of representing the human form, even with things that were not human. And these are the websites that I use to get my information from. I hope you enjoyed the presentation and got something out of it. Thank you for watching.